Are you going to stand here and watch me burn? That's all right because I like the way it hurts. Okay, now what is going on with that line right there? That is something called sadomasochism. So Eminem's new song with Rihanna is actually a form of sadomasochism, as is Twilight with Edward Cullen and the character that he is and the role that Bella plays in relation to him. Now, sadism is if you delight in giving somebody pain or degradation or sexual degradation. Masochism is delighting in receiving physical pain, degradation, or sexual degradation. So now you see how these things obviously lock into each other. So Eminem's song, "Are you gonna stand here and watch me burn?" That's all right because I like the way it hurts. It's like that. That is receiving pain and delighting in it. So it's very dark. And what we're finding right now is that a lot of our media is becoming very sadomasochistic. And the example I was bringing up there was from Twilight, because the line from Edward Cullen is, "So the lion falls in love with the lamb. What a sick lion, what a masochistic lamb." So then he's saying there the sick lion, so like a sadistic lion that is delighting in harming an innocent human or a lamb in this case, and saying what a masochistic lamb. So saying Bella is a masochist and that she's delighting receiving pain from this boyfriend who is like a vampire that constantly wants to hurt and to kill her. And it's not just those two things. There's so many different examples of it, and it's been around for a long time. I mean, the supernatural thrillers of somebody that wants to eat or to kill someone, and I mean, Michael Jackson's Thriller, that was definitely sadomasochistic. That was an earlier form of it. The early characters like Marcus de Sade is actually where the word sadism comes from, and the pleasure that he delighted in causing upon his victims and things like that. It's a lot of really horrible stuff, and people don't realize how dark it is. The Joker from Batman, a core example. I mean, someone that's killing innocent humans, blowing up hospitals. I actually did something when I asked a group of students in my classroom and said, who you guys think the Joker is quite an admirable character? And I think there was maybe 75% put up their hand. And the reason why I asked that was because I knew that our obsession with sadomasochistic media is actually changing the values of people. And so the things that we would normally say, that is an abominable thing, that is horrible, our association now with it is that's kind of cool. That's kind of alluring. So you'll see that there's a big part of us that has been degraded in our world right now. And I just want to put that appeal out there. I think that a lot of us on different levels are engaging with sadomasochistic ideas and thoughts, and it enters into our relationships in different ways. And I mean, different things and addictions and struggles that people have, sometimes they're addictions to actually causing degradation of oneself or, so someone's own life or to somebody else's life. Pornography is an example of that. It's actually somebody's humiliation. For somebody to be unveiled before the world and potentially have people laugh at them and things like that, like exposed to people and a world that will not treasure and cherish and protect your innocence is very degrading. And so whether you're unveiling yourself in that way or whether you are consuming that, it's very damaging to one's soul. And I mean, these things are coming up on different levels when we're finding ourselves constantly laughing at people's failures or gaining pain out of seeing someone degraded. It damages a part of oneself. And so it's not just about if you're on the receiving side, but if you're on also the one that is causing enjoying that pain of somebody else. I mean, who wants to be a sadist? I mean, really, don't we want to represent values of love and purity and kindness and generosity and justice, really? So I just put that appeal out there. If you're kind of putting up heroes like that are just dark, why not just strip them from their place because they don't really love you? It's just an illusion. It's more of a lustful relationship, and it's for those that are addicted to some of the teen horror, the teen kind of Edward Cullen type things. I mean, it's just with Twilight. I mean, it's just rubbish, really, when you really think about the core of it. And I just want to go to the core of what's probably happening here, what I believe is happening across society, and it is that the the obsession with sadomasochistic media has a very negative impact on individuals' lives. And I believe that the reason is basically this. This is something that Tupac and DMX both got in trouble for. DMX is currently in Arizona State Jail. Earl Simmons is his real name. And Tupac, I believe, was killed for this. And you can see some of his last interviews where he spoke about this, and he said that the role that he was involved in, and which is why they came out of singing about the stuff that they've seen about, was actually to degrade society and cause more violence so that there could be more of a control within the government. And so I think that that is existing on certain levels, that as society gets more violent, it's the idea of the phoenix rising out of the ashes. Once there's chaos and anarchy, then governments can get their control, like it's a capitalistic regime, to cause chaos, and then for that chaos to need to be controlled. So if people were all in their right minds, and if they were perfectly governed by their families, they'd be so autonomous that they would be a threat, and their minds wouldn't be pliable enough. And so if they could be damaged so much in their relationship that they would need policing, they would need prisons, they would need more policing, more surveillance, and we would lose more of our rights, and the governments there would get more control. And I believe that that is happening. And I just want to even probe it to the next point, more apocalyptic, for those that believe in a Christian worldview of an end-time judgment, that the issues that we're facing on this level is very severe, because we're getting attracted to dark and evil characters that are really representative of the forces of evil, and Satan, for those that believe in a literal devil. So that is very scary, because your heart is vulnerable, and it can really only fit one place. So, one of the Bible verses on that is that no servant can have two masters, else he will end up loving one and hating the other. So that if you love evil, and that you flirt with those principles, and you're really indulging in it, then when God in his purity and innocence, and the man Christ Jesus, and that love and purity, like it's then like repulsive, and that really is preparing us then to reject Jesus and to accept evil and Satan. And so that there, I think, is something that we all need to be watching out for, because there are many people out there that are Christians that are involving themselves in a lot of dark media, and wonder why they don't want to connect with God, or pray, or read the Bible, or have that pure relationship. So I just encourage you to think deeply upon these points, whether sadomasochism and the different forms that are coming through the media are affecting your life, and whether you can see where some of these things are coming from, to get them out of your life and cherish the more noble and pure virtues. Whatever is good and noble and true, think upon these things. Thanks.